When a new species is discovered, part of the integration process into intergalactic society was to infiltrate all the strange and interesting inventions and breakthroughs that had helped a species become a part of galactic society. When the time came for humans to be inventorized, there were the usual variety of species-specific devices and innovations. Resting furniture, like the human chairs and beds, were always interesting to learn about, as they varied by species, physiology, and custom. A species' method of engineering was also affected by their manipulative limbs. Human hands, despite being hampered by bones, were surprisingly dexterous. Their visual organs were unexpectedly sharp and could see fine details fairly well. Conveyances were also an interesting category, as they varied by environment and physiology. Often, interesting engineering solutions were present in each species' contraptions. These strange one-off solutions were commonly referenced in engineering schools to highlight novel and specialized techniques to students. Humans were, of course, no exception. There were a variety of novel and interesting engineering solutions in their engineering. Many found the use of fossil fuels an interesting, if somewhat short-sighted, energy solution. Among the more unique things humans had built were their orbital ascent vehicles. Humans came from a high-gravity world, and as such, getting into orbit from the ground was a distinct challenge. The human solution of chemical-propelled rockets was a not uncommon solution among ascended species, but the power requirements for an Earthling rocket was phenomenal, and as such required specialized designs. This led to some interesting redesigns and heavy thrust rocket motors throughout the spiral arm. As more and more engineering was catalogued, it became clear that human engineering, while not outside standard deviations in most respects, benefited, or suffered depending on your perspective, from a certain moral ambiguity. Humans, it seemed, were as likely to make a new technology for the betterment of the species as they were to design something to their own detriment. Battery-operated power tools were designed to aid in scientific exploration of space, for example, but nuclear weapons were designed expressly to cause harm. It did lead to nuclear power, but still, an alarming number of human inventions were based on war, or derived from the same. When asked about it, a human engineer had this to say: "What wonders these hands of ours have wrought. Supersonic jets, enormous buildings, minuscule computers the size of a grain of rice, and chariots to the stars. But for all that, still, we suffer. Hunger, disease, war. The strength of our hands is only eclipsed by the things that slip through our fingers."